CT&I, happy Monday. Good to be back. Before we even get into this really, it's CTM session. It's just a CTM session, so I don't need to build it up. It's going to be that last week. By the way, last week, we covered so much. Hold on one second. This was how we ended it on Friday. I don't even want to get, this was like I was in sick in bed, so I had to keep going. But what I do want to start with is just on the model itself. Over here, May 8th, right? And you can see before the breakdown, we knew that we were coming close to that 35,000 channel support. Needed to know what's below that. And that's why all that time and energy last week went into modeling. And in that week, or those 4 days, what we accomplished is really, really beautiful. And I want to start over here with this. I saw this morning, and it just sets the tone for today's session. All right. Signing up for CTM has been a great investment. Jordan is the best teacher I've ever had the pleasure of learning from. Thank you. Every session I learn something new and leave class with a sense of empowerment to make my own investment strategy decisions, which is invaluable. Last but not least, the CTM community is full of people from all walks of life coming together, learning, teaching, and supporting each other. It's truly beautiful. CTMers for life, y'all. That sets the tone, not only for this session today, but for what I try to do each and every day. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for framing that. Iron sharpens iron. The more I shared, the sharper we all got. And I share these things with you this morning because this is what keeps me aligned and focused, so that I am able to continue building with you and making sure that we continue headed in the direction that we need to be, so that we get to reap all the fruit of everything that we are building. That's why we're here today. Jim, I'm going to jump over now to a different part of the presentation then, because this is a good lead in. And this model by the way, this modeling is not nearly as important as this modeling. This is, right, where everything happens. And why I say that is because, I mean, forget about it. Like buy side only, and we're just focused on executing. And that's the most important model. But with that model in mind, CTM is more than one thing. And what do I mean by that? I mean is CTM has a foundational strategy, and that involves long-term dollar cost averaging. And this model helps more than anything else see that this particular moment is a time that people need to return to dollar cost averaging, because on this, here at CTM, since January, I've said that now is not a good time to dollar cost average. Obviously, we had a de-risking event at 53,000 a month early in December. For now, build reserves if you can. Do not take that money that you normally dollar cost average into Bitcoin as your foundational strategy and build reserves. Put it into gold, put it into dollars, or vice versa. Put it into dollars, put it into gold, but don't keep it in Bitcoin. Or don't be dollar cost average. Now's the time to actually, because Bitcoin is traded off substantially, and it is in a zone that it's only traded below this green line over here. And I do like the green better than yellow. It's only 150 days since 2015 that price is traded below that line. If it changed a little bit, if you go back another 2 years to 2013, then it's, just extend that green line all the way to here. Then it's since 2013, it's only been 190 days, since Bitcoin has been below that green line. And here we are again. And this opens up. And what I believe right now is starting from Friday till Bitcoin, trades back above $58,000. I think that we are looking at a once in a lifetime accumulation opportunity. What I mean by that, first of all, I have to assume that this adoption model here is going to continue. So let me jump ahead to come back because I want to get it right. So Jim, right? Bitcoiners, it's time to return to that foundational strategy, and Bitcoiners should return to dollar cost averaging from building reserves, regardless if the bottom is in or not. Bitcoin is undervalued, and it is time to take advantage. Tell as many friends and family as possible. Once again, we are in accumulation zone until $58,000. I don't know when Bitcoin will trade above 58,000. The model here is showing us that by January 1st, Bitcoin should be trading $58,000 or higher. I myself, after the breakdown of 35,000, the technical breakdown, am saying that I say by September, I don't know, like sometime in September, forget before, in or after September, we should be trading around $32,000 above. And if we are, at that point, there's a good probability we could meet the end goal, 58,000. Once we get there, if we get there, I'll say, well, this model continues to be of use. Or this model will be an enormous use if we break down from here. So I'm looking for the low. The model low, if I zoom in over here, is whatever, $19,000 or $21,000, I should say. But on linear, it's 19,000. Break below that. Even if that happens, my worst case scenario, and that would be breaking down out of this channel, even losing 19,000 linear support, then we're going down longer and lower. Even if that happens, I do believe that at some point we're going to make new all-time highs on Bitcoin. I mean, that's the bet. That's why I have 90% of my wealth in Bitcoin. And since 2020, it's because I believe in the bullish case for Bitcoin, understanding the financial system, regardless of what happens here in the immediate future. And I want to stress that could you smash the like button? Could you smash the like button if you're here today on this Monday with CTM? I'll come back to, I'm sure we have a lot of questions and I'll come back to them in a second. I don't know how I got into a worst case scenario, but since I'm working it out, I want to continue working it out. I think it's all very important. And what I'm getting at is right now, tell as many friends and family. I feel like right now is the same opportunity that I had in this area over here when I was able to spread the bullish case for Bitcoin that really changed the lives of many, that we are in a similar situation now, but we will soon be coming out of it. And when I say soon, I imagine it's at some time before the 2024 halving. But what I want to go back to is normally price as you approach that halving event in 2024. We're looking at right now March 2nd, 2024. Normally what happened, price is trading 50% off that. Out of the two previous halvings, price coming into the halving date was 40% off, and the other time 60% off. So I'm just going to say normally price is somewhere around 50% off the all-time high. If we're looking at March 2nd, 2024, most likely the worst case that we could see, that I could see on Bitcoin, would be at that point us, trading roughly 50% off. So that would be like, if I had to envision a potential worst case circumstance for Bitcoin of what I believe it would be. And I do believe sometime thereafter that price would break to new all-time highs. Okay. If that's happening, that means that you have until not only March 2024, but however long it takes for price to make a new all-time high to accumulate Bitcoin. A lot of people probably don't like to view that case, but anyone who's getting into Bitcoin now is so happy that they actually have that little bit of time in order to go ahead and accumulate more Bitcoin. That would be, again, this is probably the opportunity of our lifetimes. If Bitcoin does Bitcoin things, to accumulate Bitcoin under $55,000 is cheap, right? Because it won't be once we break to new all-time highs the next time. At that point, you will never see, well, I don't want to say never, most likely you will never see the opportunity again to accumulate Bitcoin at those levels. Now, what I see happening is a little different than that. That's probably, let's say, I'll call that like the backup, like plan B. That's probably like, that's probably the best circumstance that most people would have to be able to change their situation in Bitcoin, because having the opportunity during that time to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible, that's going to put them in the best position. But most likely we don't have that much time. Most likely this model continues to hold. And most likely, I believe that we've been running that 107 for quite a while. Let me just get a picture of it. So over here you could see, and I know I did this when the first day that I released this model, this is how we talked about it. And I was showing the 107.17 running all the way up. I assume that unless something happens with the adoption rate of Bitcoin, that this is going to continue. About our expectations of potentially when Bitcoin may make a new all-time high. That's about as much time as you have to dollar cost average Bitcoin at these levels, right? So I'm writing, I say $58,000. That's a little bit to kind of troll people about $55,000 Bitcoin being cheap. And I always did give the perspective on the time frame of that. And it will be the next bull market, though, that people will be looking back and realize that $55,000 Bitcoin was cheap. So Bitcoin is hope. That's why you shouldn't short Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is hope. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for this time together here.